welcome back. So, maybe like us, you were a little bit disappointed to hear about some of the measures that Missouri has been taking to deal with the homelessness problem in its state. Apparently across the US, there's about 500,000 people. John just looked up the statistics. That's 500,000 out of 332 million total US population. You guys can do the maths and figure out the percentage, but that's the total amount of homeless people in the US, not just in Missouri. And one reason for this, perhaps, is a lack of clean, safe homelessness shelters. Places sort of not permanent housing for homeless people, but the stopgap place where they can go if they are in desperate need of a place to stay. Some people tend not to prefer that method, and they tend to blame the homeless for their homelessness, for their situation, without even knowing the details of that homeless person's situation. So in the state of Missouri, there's been some sort of pushback, and this has made lawmakers criminalize homelessness. It is now a criminal offense to sleep on the streets or in public areas. They've even gone further than that. They decided to include what's called hostile architecture. This means any of the sort of public benches, public spaces are specifically designed so you cannot sleep on them or lie down on them. This, I think, affects everybody, not just homeless people. You know, there's nowhere for a nap in Missouri now, whether you're homeless or not. And it does seem a little bit like they are attempting to hide the homelessness problem rather than actually deal with it. I guess that's kind of my opinion on it. But so, as I said, in the article, they say that lots of people blame the homeless for their situation without looking into the common reasons for becoming homeless. So let's try and think about that. I'm sure there must be many reasons. What can you think of some of the most common reasons for becoming homeless?
A lot of the common reasons that you hear is drug issues. Inability to control addiction, which causes people to lose houses and lose the ability to have a house or go to a house, such as family, friends, something like that. I think another one is absolutely money. If you remember, there have been several economic downturns, which have been downright terrible, and people lost their homes during that. And not everyone has another person they can go to. And there's also a certain amount of pride for those people who lost their homes. Some of them are living in their cars because they didn't want to tell their friends and family that they lost their house. So yeah, they didn't want to be vilified, because everyone, when they hear the word homeless, they're like, oh, you're just a deadbeat, sort of deplorable drug addict who just can't get their life together. Like, you know, get your act together, people. And then it's not true at all. Their act is fine. They just don't have money. And there's no addiction. It's just they can't have any help. They can't get that little bit of boost just to get back to a normal life. You know, there's many reasons for homelessness, and we should explore all of them and try to, you know, I don't know, not eradicate, but at least help them.
Yeah, offer them a way out. Offer them a program, a guided direction that might help them improve their situation. But I think it's also useful to put ourselves into their shoes. You know, let's say the worst happens. Something goes wrong. You lose your job. You, I don't know, you lose a lot of money somehow by accident or some terrible disaster, and you end up homeless. What would you do? Where would you go?
I think what I would do is I would gather what I could because I'm sure that there's a trading market, like a homeless people trading market. And this is where I would gather things that could have value. And I'd go to Soul Station and I would start to make friends immediately. I'd be like, hey, what's up? New homeless person. And I know they're gonna treat everybody bad at first, because all the newbies are treated bad no matter where you go. But if I have some good items, maybe, you know, like, oh, you know, I got this, just wanted to give it to you, you know, maybe bring the economy of kindness to myself, get on the in before winter.
That would be the worst time to be homeless.
Yeah, so I think that would be one of the things I would do. I would immediately get into the community. And then I would knock on your door and say, hey.
Yes. Oh, I'd put you up, John.
Yeah.
Of course I would. Of course I would.
Like, I've befriended the homeless. Can you let us all in?
Oh, yes, we'd all go. But I think that's a smart idea, yeah, to get, if you're going to get any kind of guidance, you need to meet someone who's in the same situation as you. So what are the options? Are there shelters? Where do they offer a meal for the night? What are the options?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
what would
sounds...
you do?
I'd do something similar, yeah, if I genuinely just didn't know. I mean, if I had enough money to scrape together to go into a PC Bang, to Google, where are there homeless shelters? Are there soup kitchens? Are there places where I could get advice on programs that are available in Seoul that might be able to help me?
Yeah.
I don't know about Seoul, but I'd hope there is something out there to help.
There is something, I just don't know what it is.
Yeah. We just need to find out. I used to work for Manchester City Council's homeless department, and they do a lot of this, the covering up, trying to just hide people, ban them from the city centre so they all end up just somewhere else where no one can see them. But they do also have a lot of programmes, soup kitchens, drug addiction centres where they can get counselling and help with addiction. I think the biggest problem I noticed in Manchester at that time, we're talking 20 years ago now, but was trying to get people to use the services. Some people are homeless by choice, and it's a minority group. I'm not saying lots of people are, but some people don't want to live in a house with the boundaries of society in the way we term it. So
the freegans.
Yeah, the free living types. That's the real difficult problem to solve because they don't need a program or a drug.
No.
They don't have a drug problem. They don't. They're just alternative living types. Anyway, that's another issue and too complicated. Let's take a look at the not innocuous vocabulary in the section today. Let's get our acts together and learn it. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Downright.
Downright.
Criminalize.
Criminalize.
Innocuous.
Innocuous.
Vilify.
Vilify.
Eradicate.
Eradicate.